Good afternoon, social media. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Saturday, March 21st, 2015, around 1:48 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. Sun's out after some snowfall early this morning. We got about an inch, but all of it's melting away because it's warm out. Some news to report, sad news to report in the world of professional football. Pro Football Hall of Famer Chuck Bednarik passed away at the age of 89. Chuck played his entire career with the Eagles, and he was the last NFL player to play two ways, both offense and defense. He's famous for giving a clean hit to Frank Gifford of the New York Giants in 1960, and it was an iconic hit that was photographed with Chuck doing this. Prayers to his family. And that's about it on the news. My second video subject of the day is the first of two personality profiles I'm doing today. And the first one is about former Major League Baseball pitcher / closer Jeff Reardon, also known as the Terminator. Jeff pitched 16 seasons in the major leagues with the Expos, the Twins, the Red Sox, the Braves, the Reds, and the Yankees. Jeff was born in Dalton, Massachusetts, and he grew up in the Berkshires area of Massachusetts, and in high school he was a real good pitcher. In fact, the Montreal Expos drafted him in the 23rd round of the 1973 Major League Baseball amateur draft, but Jeff decided to go to college. He pitched for the UMass Minutemen in Amherst, and he was a pretty good college pitcher, but he did not get drafted by any Major League Baseball team in 1977, and he signed a free agent contract with the New York Mets that same year, and they put him in the minor leagues. He pitched 2.5 years in the minor leagues as like a middle relief pitcher and closer. He wasn't a starting pitcher, and he was so good in the minors that on August 25th, 1979, the New York Mets called him up to the big leagues, and he was in the big leagues to stay. At first he was a middle reliever for the New York Mets for about 3 seasons. Then he was traded to the Montreal Expos in 1981, and as he started in middle relief, he was a middle relief pitcher, but when the Expos could not find a closer, Jeff Reardon stepped into that position, and he was a closer for over 10 years and a very dominant closer. 11 times he saved 20 or more games during a season. 5 times he was named to the All-Star team. In 1985, he led the National League in saves with 41. Plus, Jeff Reardon won the Rolaids Relief Pitcher of the Year for the National League. He pitched in 2 World Series games series, one with the Twins in 1987 and one with the Braves in 1992. He pitched for the Expos for 6 seasons, but he was traded to Minnesota Twins in 1987, and he pitched 3 years for the Twins. In 1990, Jeff signed a contract, a mega contract, which was back then close to $10 million for 3 years to pitch to be the closer of the Boston Red Sox, and he was still a dominating closer for the Red Sox. In 1992, Jeff became the all-time save leader in Major League Baseball history with his career save 342, which he only had that record for about a year before Lee Smith passed him for the all-time save leader. Jeff Reardon played 2.5 seasons for the Red Sox, but the Red Sox weren't serious contenders for the World Series, so he was traded to the Atlanta Braves in 1992, and he pitched for the Braves in the World Series in 1992. In 1993, Jeff Reardon signed a contract with the Cincinnati Reds, and he was basically used as middle relief and stuff, and he had to shave off his trademark beard because at the time the Cincinnati Reds had a policy that no players playing for the team could have any type of facial hair, a beard or a mustache or a goatee or a soul patch or sideburns, so he had to shave his beard, and he basically was fading from the scene in baseball. By 1994, Jeff Reardon signed with the Yankees, but he pitched a few games for the Yankees, and he had a very, very high ERA and stuff, and he decided to retire in May of 1994. Jeff's career stats was 73 wins and 77 losses, a 3.16 ERA, 367 saves, which was second all-time at that time, 877 strikeouts, 695 games finished, 880 games pitched overall, but Jeff Reardon did not start one major league game. All of his appearances were out of the bullpen. And Jeff Reardon, after he retired, he got some offers to coach in the minor leagues and in major leagues as like pitching instructor or bullpen instructor. But Jeff decided not to take any of those offers, and he actually became a spokesman for Lena Sports Marketing and stuff like that. Jeff had appeared in the Hall of Fame ballot for the first and only time in 2000, and he only got less than 5% of the votes, meaning he was removed from the ballot the first time, and he has not been considered since the Hall of Fame ever since. Even though Jeff had 367 saves, a lot of sports writers didn't think he has really the big numbers like some of the relievers had, which was kind of disappointing. I thought Jeff would be on the Hall of Fame ballot for several years because he had a high amount of save totals. In the early 2000s, Jeff's son passed away very young because he had a lot of troubles, Jeff's son, and he passed away of a drug overdose, and Jeff slipped into deep depression. It's very sad when somebody loses a child so young. And Jeff in 2005, had some heart problems, and he needed to get some heart medication and stuff, and he slipped into deep depression. In December of 2005, Jeff was arrested in Florida for alleged robbery of a jewelry store in a mall in Florida, because allegedly he wrote a note to the people who were working in a jewelry store because he wanted money. He wrote it down. They arrested him, and he was put into a psychiatric hospital for a few months, but he recovered in that, and he stayed out of the limelight ever since. It was pretty sad to see Jeff Reardon in that type of state of depression and stuff. Depressions are very that could be a very hard disease and very fatal. But Jeff's career, he had a great career as a relief pitcher and stuff like that. It was a kind of a dominant relief pitcher in the 80s and stuff, and he spent the majority of his career with the Expos and stuff. He bounced around from team to team to the end, and it was good that he pitched for his hometown team, the Red Sox, for 2.5 years. Even though he was kind of on the downside of his career, it was still good for him to live out his boyhood dream and playing for the Boston Red Sox. And that's about it on Jeff Reardon, and I'll be back later on Facebook, YouTube, Daily, and Twitter with the last video blog, which will end the series of the week of famous Montreal Expos players and pitchers, and Montreal Canadiens famous players, defensemen, and GOAT. And I'm going to be profiling the Hockey Hall of Fame defenseman Larry Robinson. Have a good day, everybody. Bye now.